again. Hey there guys, today I'm coming with you a quick video. It's just going to be about different forms of energy. Why? Because on the 23rd and 24th of April, EPF is hosting another hackathon this month based on energy. So guys, come through, check our website to register and everything. Registration is open. Let's get right into the video. Number one, the solar panel. It's a primary source that uses the sun's energy. So essentially it's like a giant flower that absorbs the sun's energy, except solar panel is a big metal like a metal sheet with panels on it that get the energy from the sun and absorbs it and stores it for later. It also is used in larger fields, like you'll see in a lot in the Nairobi desert, or mainly a lot of deserts. Like you'll see them a lot in Africa. If you look on Google Images, solar panels, usually the first image that pops up is a big field of solar panels. That's a solar farm. It is good. So solar panel has a lot of benefits. You get energy from the sun, so it's constant energy, always there in only certain areas. And that leads me to the point where solar energy isn't always good in certain areas because geographically speaking, some areas do not have that much sun. For example, the UK barely sees any sun. Also, a lot of places like a lot of night instead. Like they have more nights than days in their different seasons, like Alaska, for example. 2, wind energy. Wind is becoming more and more common. Well, the big fans that you see is one that people say, oh, it kills birds, it's not good, it's noise pollution. But they don't really cause that much noise pollution. Personally, what I've known and what people who work in that field tell me, it's a new innovation that allows wind farming to appear making more the common sight. I am reading because of my notes down here, so it looks like I'm just doing that. It's because I am currently reading, because it's down here, so I don't forget my notes. But yeah, wind energy, it's a clean source of energy. I prefer it, to be honest, when it comes to powering up cities or substations. I think it is a really good source of energy. Because it's just a giant fan. So it's basically just like your kind of standard idea of a fan, except the turbine inside of it, which creates DC current, is generating electricity, which is then housing it, which then sends that electricity through a transformer to a substation to be generated into power and distributed into different areas. So that's why I think wind farming is pretty good. Granted, some bird populations, I guess is the bad thing, some populations are like affected by it, because you do need to clear like a lot of land, and birds aren't the smartest creatures in the world. Sometimes they just fly into your window because they see it's clear and they think it's an opening. So that's literally the only downside to it, in my opinion. I guess the other downside to it, it does cost a lot to actually manufacture and to set up. Number 3, geothermal energy. What does it pretty much sound like? So geo meaning earth, thermal meaning heat, and energy, well, meaning energy. It's pretty much taking the center of the cores, taking the internal heat from the earth, so center of the earth temperature, and using that and converting that into power. It is both sustainable and environmentally, and also very clean. I think it also is a good source. It is actually not that bad. It is more effective than using a wind turbine or solar panels, but problem is you yourself can't have it in your backyard. It has to come from a city, but for city standard, it is a really good source of energy. It's clean and also environment friendly, so you're doing multiple things at once, and you're not, draining the earth's power as some people would think. So it can be used in a large scale industrial applications, so powering a small city or powering a whole factory by just using a small amount of power because of heat. So what it does is there's heat in the ground, a bit of water, which creates steam, which then kind of acts like a steam engine by generating heat and running through a turbine, which then creates a lot of power. It's kind of like similar to a hydro station, which I will get into later. Because as a hydro station, water goes through, turns the turbines, and then also kind of some of them turn that water into steam, which then generates power. But that will be the next point. And next one, hydroelectricity energy. Hydro meaning water, electricity meaning electricity, and energy meaning energy. So essentially what it does is it's kind of like flowing water going through a kind of like a big turbine. Now when it goes in there, it generates enough force. It's kind of like the exact thing where I said before with a big fan, where it's an AC motor generating power, DC motor generating power. So the turbine, the hydro one, has the exact same theory. It's a huge amount of current pushing through a turbine, charging that up to make electricity. It's kind of what a DC current does. Essentially, it's really easy to explain. It's like big force, push turbine make electricity sent to transformer sent to substation. As simple as it is explaining is not that complicated. In theory, it is a very complicated process, and there's a lot of maintenance because, as we know, water does make metal rust, and a lot of the components in a hydro plant is metal. Moving on to another one, and some car companies are doing this, like Honda, or was it Toyota? One of the Japanese car companies, hydrogen cells, bit of a tongue twister there. Hydrogen cells, let's get right into that. Hydrogen energy. It's pretty much just a mixture of water, and which is a very common element on the earth. Granted, some people are not fighting because of drought and everything, but essentially it is a common element on earth that is accessible anywhere. Be it clean, dirty, it can still be used. Through filtration, you can get clean water from a dirty pond. So as we know, water is H2O, hydrogen to oxygen. So if you separate the hydrogen from the oxygen, you just get your hydrogen, which then gives you the word hydrogen energy or hydrogen cell, which is used in some cars. Hydrogen is also a tremendous source of energy and can be used on nearly every single type of transport. It can be used on ships, vehicles, homes, industries, and rockets. Although homes is not a vehicle unless it's a motorhome or a caravan, which no one really likes. Another thing before we move on to the next one, it leaves no toxic fumes, so it's extremely clean energy. It's good for cars. It's good for the world. Granted, I still like my petrol-based engines. And later on in the video, I'm going to be explaining, well, not this video, next video, I'm going to be talking more about my final video, I guess, on the whole electronic cars versus petrol-powered cars. Because I have one final thing to say about that, but stay tuned for that. On to the next one. I'm going to be doing two more. This is the second last one. Now to the most common one that's actually used around nearly everywhere. Fossil fuel energy, so that's coal, oil, and natural gases. A lot of people have mixed feelings about this. I do. Coal does produce a lot of energy, especially for power plant based, because you're essentially just heating up an element in water. Well, then you put water in it, or there's a water process like that, which then generates steam, which then pushes up into a turbine, which then generates a lot of electricity and power. Oil does the exact same thing, except that one I don't really get into because that one is just really bad for the environment. Coal, though, on the other hand, depending on how much is used in the process of using it. For example, in South Africa, most of the Eskom power stations are, as we know, used by coal, which is then, they always say, oh, it's a problem with the turbine, or last time there was a big issue with South Africa, they said they forgot to cover the coal, which made the coal wet, which means they couldn't use it until it dried out. But that's just my opinion. I would say coal is the most common thing used to produce power. Now, on to the last one. Yes, I did close the laptop because this one I do know a little bit about. This one is a bit controversial. Personally, I do like this one. Nuclear power. Why do I say it's a bit controversial? Because of the certain incidents that's happened. For example, the Fukushima one and Chernobyl. Those were two different cases. Fukushima had to do with tsunami, which is a natural accident. Chernobyl, though, had to do with a man-made human error and extremely faulty like hardware on the RBKM reactors. If you guys want to watch Chernobyl, the series, granted, is not fully accurate, but the section that is accurate, and a lot of people do say, is when they talk about the RBKM reactors being so poorly made. But let's talk about the good things. It does produce a lot of clean energy. It's between cost efficient and expensive because you don't need that many power stations. For example, in South Africa, you'll probably need a lot of coal stations, but you'll probably need one nuclear station to generate the exact amount of powers of 3 coal stations. That's just an example off the top of my head. That's what I'm thinking. But nuclear power is safe if maintained and managed well with the correct equipment, and if it is maintained in a normal in a normal manner. So guys, there's some of them. If you guys want me to go more in detail, I definitely can. Other than that, also got some big news for some videos. Like I just said, I'm gonna be doing my last video on electric cars versus petrol power cars or combustion engine cars, and I have a car review coming up. It's about the 750 Li from BMW, that V8 motor. I just need to wait for the owner to come back so he can actually allow me to use the car. Well, use the car in the offices, so it's so it's safe. The car won't be in danger. I won't be in danger. So it's all safe and sound. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget, we have a hackathon on the 23rd to 24th of April based on energy. That's why I did this whole video. Yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our other social media pages. We are on LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah, just check out our other social medias. Please don't forget, please subscribe. Well, you can subscribe if you want to. Just remember, it takes like 3 seconds. And also, you get to watch cool videos. I already did 2 car reviews. Did one on the GLE 450 and the A250. I'm hoping to do more in the future, but for now, see you guys later. Don't forget to register if you want to take part in the Energy Hackathon. Good news also, it's both in-house at our offices at 35 Ferguson Lovo and online. We also host it on Discord as well for the virtual people that can't come. Sometimes we will have people from Polokwane, Limpopo. I think one time we had a guy from Cape Town also take part in it. Like, he was in Cape Town and then he took part in it as well. So I mean, join it. It's really fun. You get to meet me. I know I'm not important or anything, but you get to meet me. That's kind of fun. You also get to meet the team. But hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.